Pete, it's interesting. There was a report in the Times newspaper in England today talking about this meeting that's coming up in November 14th, where there's a suggestion that there will be a discussion as to why the referees aren't using monitors more. It's something we've discussed and something that boys are very passionate about, that the referee should be the one making the decision at the end of the day. We've seen it in other leagues. For some reason, England have tried to usurp that. Are we going to see a change of the guard in that sense, that monitors are going to be used a lot more going forward?
Well, the Premier League didn't want to use the monitors because they said it would slow the game down, and they were quite happy with the VAR decisions being given to the guy on the field. Protocol says that the guy on the field should be taking the final decision and should be seen to be taking the final decision. So I think there's a lot of pressure coming under the Premier League to have their referees go over to the monitor. I do know that there is an actual meeting this Thursday coming with the officials to discuss it internally, and then it goes wider, including the leagues and their chairman in November. So yes, I do think there will be a change, and yes, I think it will be a subtle change, but ultimately the referees should be seen to be making that final decision on the field.
We mentioned it, Peter. Obviously, in the first 9 matches, no penalties were overturned. Just this week, 4 overall from VAR, 26 total overturns this weekend, 6 of them leading to goals. Obviously, someone had a word, yeah?
I think that there's been a little bit of pressure all around and a softening of their intervention. What we've seen, unfortunately, and Craig and Shaka have already highlighted this, is that there's an inconsistency in terms of when the VAR gets involved. That needs to be ironed out. That needs to be ironed out really quickly.
Well, I mean, it's almost as simple as going to a meeting and never mind talking about how they're operating VAR, but just run some tapes of this season.
Yeah.
And say, listen, guys, you know, and ladies, we need to get this right. I mean, this is a foul. You know what I mean? Sort it out. You know what I mean? It's like, stop complicating this. Yeah. This is a.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no other way to put it. Yeah. They're making it very difficult for themselves.
I'm amazed at how difficult they're making it for themselves. As I keep saying, they're reacting to outside pressure. Whatever is written about in the media or said by the fans, and all of a sudden it seems as though their efforts are kind of in addressing that. When you want your referees to know what they're doing, apply the laws of the game, and stand by that, not react to what the fans or the media are saying, because it then takes away from their own authority, whether they go to monitor or not.
I think it's of paramount, and I'm touching on something that everybody has touched on, I think, so far, particularly Pete. I think it is of paramount importance that the game is refereed ultimately from the stadium.
Yeah.
Right? The game has to be refereed ultimately by the match referee. He has to be aided and abetted by somebody in the booth, but ultimately directed to referee the match and take the brunt of a good and bad decisions. And it's crystal clear then at the end of the game who has made the final call. That then, I think, simplifies it to Martin Atkinson was refereeing the game against Arsenal, and Martin Atkinson came to those decisions after seeing the monitor. Job done.
Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube. And for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for premium content and live streaming, subscribe to ESPN+.